Hey, good morning. The question I have today, which is as much for me as for anybody else, what's it going to take? What will it take to motivate you to a new level of discipline? You know, a lot of us are in pretty decent shape. Not in great shape, but we're in pretty decent shape. Our clothes fit. We can exercise without a lot of pain and misery. We look around at a lot of our colleagues and peers and say, well, you know, I'm in pretty decent shape compared to some of these guys, right? That's not a very powerful motivator, because a lot of times in the being among the group of the high mediocre, we're content. You know, they always say in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So we look around and say, you know, I'm doing pretty good. What's in it for me to push a little harder? Try to reach that next level. Is it necessary? You know, isn't this good enough? And so I would suggest that another technique or strategy that aligns really well with our why, our motivation, our reason to try to push ourselves on toward doing better, doing more, learning more, you know, really putting ourselves out there. We're not always inspired toward the more. You know, it's easy to, you know, and even, you know, among like church people, you know, we say, well, we're blessed, we're grateful, you know, we have enough, life is abundant, my health is good. You know, we know that we need to be appreciative for these things, and sometimes it seems like maybe a little arrogant even to say, yeah, but I can do better. And so if you find yourself kind of stuck in that mindset from time to time, I think there's value in also figuring out what are some of the things you're most afraid of, particularly with regard to your health. You know, I know a lot of people who have a secret or not so secret fear of dementia or Alzheimer's, or they have they watch their parents just absolutely fall apart once their diabetes took hold. You know, whatever it is, a lot of us have identified some things in our lives that we're not necessarily striving toward, but we're running away from. We're trying to, you know, at all costs avoid that one thing. And I think there's some value in that. So if you'll spend a little time, and here's another writing assignment for those of us who are into, you know, journaling. What is one of the things you most fear, especially with regard to your health? What is one of the things that if you could run away from it effectively, that motivates you? And spend a little time with that. I've watched a lot of people over the years, for example, try to quit smoking. Some of them try and fail. Get a month or two under their belts and go right back to it. All the while just beating up their sense of self-esteem and giving up believing that they could ever even do it. And then other people take a long, hard look in the mirror one day and say, I'm done. I'm done. For whatever reason, they figured it out. They see smoking as the number one thing that's gonna screw up their later lives, and they just put it away. Other people still can fully understand how dangerous, that particular vice is, but they just can't manage the discipline to let it go until their doctor calls them and says, hey, that chest x-ray that we took, I want you to come in, we need to talk about it. And then the flood of emotion and fear suddenly is the thing that allows them to finally say, okay, that's it, I'm done now. And they never smoke again. So this exercise can be super powerful and really uncomfortable. If you look at that one particular thing that needs a change in your life, and you allow yourself to go deep into the emotions that you might experience one day if that thing is allowed to continue. Imagine the conversation you have to have with your spouse or with your kids on the day that the doctor finally tells you you've got lung cancer. They've been nagging at you for years to put it down. You wanted to. You knew they were right, but you just couldn't manage it. And now you've got to sit down and let them know that you not only have cancer, but it's advanced. It's everywhere in your body. Your time is very limited. And this exercise in imagining a future reality can be a pretty powerful motivator for a lot of people. And if you will do that and experience it with, as much real emotion as you can muster, sometimes that's the final thing that you need to be able to just put that thing down and move on. And it doesn't have to be smoking. It can be exercise. It can be overeating. It can be alcohol. It can be, whatever it is. But that's what I'm thinking about today. If you're having a hard time getting started, you're having a hard time sticking to it, you're having a hard time with your own discipline, if you're not motivated by that next level of improvement because life is good and you have enough, maybe spend a little time thinking about what is the thing you're trying to get away from? What is the thing you're running away from? What is the worst possible health scenario? And then start figuring out what you can do about it. And you might just find yourself on the path to making some changes that will save your life and add years to your life and add joy and value to your life. Get after it. These are the things that I think about. For better or worse, I think we all just have to examine these things and push ourselves onward. Get out there. It's a beautiful morning. We'll see you later.